This video will demonstrate how to step-by-step assemble the LM602 Landmark 450 permanent blind. Minimum required tools for assembling the LM602 include two 10mm wrenches and two 13mm wrenches. However, ratchets and sockets or a cordless impact driver will make the job much easier. Begin by opening the box and remove all of the contents. Organize all metal parts together according to their labels. For example, 3 A3 parts together, 4 Hub 1 parts together, etc. Lay out the sewn panels as well and become familiar with them. There should be 2 sidewall panels, 1 back wall panel, 1 front left wall panel, 1 front right wall panel, 1 door panel, 1 roof panel, and 6 window panels. Using the parts list in the owner's manual, verify that you have all of the parts. To begin assembly, locate the 4 corner hubs, Hub 1, 3 A3 poles, 1 B3 pole, and 2 bottom door frame hubs, Hub 2. Also, find 8 cam strap ends as well as all 5 wall panels. Slide the 2 bottom door frame hubs, Hub 2, down to the second snap pin in pole 3. Next, slide front right wall panel and front left wall panel onto each end of pole B3. Be sure to only slide one sleeve onto the pole before sliding on a cam strap oriented with the cam lever facing up, then followed by the other sleeve. Slide 2 corner hubs, Hub 1, onto the ends of pole B3 so that the snap pins secure the parts together. Locate pole A3 and slide through bottom sleeves on one of the side wall panels. Then slide 1 cam strap end onto each end of the pole. Again, be sure that cam straps are oriented with cam lever facing up. Repeat this step for the opposite side wall panel and the back wall panel. Slide the 3 A3 poles into the 4 Hub 1 corners so that the snap buttons secure the parts together. You should now have the bottom tier frame of the blind assembled. Locate 5 C3 poles and 1 E3 pole and slide into corner hubs, Hub 1, and bottom door hubs, Hub 2, so that the snap buttons secure the parts together. Be sure that the door stop plate on pole E3 is facing interior of blind, and that the hook and loop on the 4 corner C3 poles is facing toward the exterior front and back of the blind. Locate 2 front corner hubs, Hub 3, and 2 middle corner hubs, Hub 4. Slide the 2 middle corner hubs, Hub 4, onto poles C3 on the back side of the blind, and 2 front corner hubs, Hub 3, onto poles C3 and E3 on the front side of the blind. Locate 2 Z3 and 1 F3 poles, and slide into corner hubs, Hub 3 and Hub 4. Be sure to orient poles Z3 with the snap button end into Hub 4, and the opposite end into Hub 3. Fasten the front corner hubs, Hub 3, with M6 by 30mm bolts and nuts. Locate 5 J3 poles and 1 L3 pole and slide into hubs, Hub 3 and Hub 4 so that the snap buttons secure the parts together. Be sure that the door stop plate on pole L3 is facing interior of blind and that the hook and loop on the 4 corner J3 poles is facing toward the exterior front and back of the blind. Locate the hubs, Hub 5, Hub 6, Hub 7, and poles N3, O3, and M3. Assemble separately from the rest of the assembled blind by sliding 1 Hub 5 and 1 Hub 7 onto the ends of pole O3. Be sure that the hook and loop on pole O3 faces towards the exterior back of the blind. Slide poles N3 into the hubs Hub 5 and Hub 7. Be sure that the door stop plate of pole M3 is facing the interior of the blind. Then assemble the remaining hubs, Hub 5, Hub 6, Hub 7, and pole M3 by sliding a Hub 6 onto each end of pole 3 down to the second snap pin. Then slide Hub 5 and Hub 7 onto the ends of pole M3. Lastly, slide the assembled pole M3, Hub 5, Hub 6, and Hub 7 onto poles N3 so that the snap buttons secure the parts together. Lift the assembled top tier of the blind up and over the rest of the blind frame and attach by sliding the hubs onto poles J3 and L3 so that the snap buttons secure the parts together. You will now have the main frame of the blind assembled. Begin the attachment of the wall panels by sliding the R3 poles into the top sleeves of front wall panels, being sure to only slide one sleeve onto the pole before sliding on a long loop end of a strap followed by the other end of the sleeve. Slide the P3 poles into top sleeves of remaining wall panels. Locate the 6 S3 poles and the 6 short cam strap loop ends. Fasten the loop end of the short cam straps to the end of poles S3 by sliding the loop end of strap into the pole and secure with an M6 by 30 mm bolt and nut. Set aside. Starting with one of the sidewall panels, pull the panel up and flip pole P3 over the top tier of the frame towards the interior of the blind. Hook 2 S3 poles onto pole P3 and secure with M6 by 30 mm bolts and nuts. Feed the straps through the cam buckles, but do not pull tight at this time. Before pulling tight, make sure that the wall panel is centered on both the top and bottom of the frame. To tension the panel vertically, pull down on each pole S3 with one hand and up on loose end of cam strap with the other. Do not over-tension the panel. Only tension enough to take the slack out of the panel vertically at this time. To tension the skin horizontally, wrap the edge of side panels around corners of blind frame and secure with hook and loop strips. You may need to loosen the cam straps and readjust the panel from left to right if the hook and loop doesn't line up on both edges. You can now repeat this process for the opposite side wall panel. Then, repeat the same general process for the back wall panel. However, this time, when tensioning the panels horizontally, secure the edges of the panel to the sidewall panels with hook and loop strips rather than to the frame. The final step of the wall panel tensioning is to tension and secure the front wall panels. Pull the panels up and flip poles R3 and attach straps over the top tier of the framework towards the interior of the blind. Feed the straps through the cam buckles, the same as done for the other walls. Before pulling tight, make sure that the wall panel is centered on both the top and bottom of the frame. Tension the panels vertically by pulling down on the strap with one hand and up on the loose end with the other. Do not over-tension the panel. Only tension enough to take the slack out of the panel vertically at this time. Next, tension the panels horizontally in a similar manner to the other wall panels. Starting with the door opening edge of each panel, wrap around the corner and secure with hook and loop strips. Then pull and wrap the outer edges of the panels around the corners of the blind and secure. Note, you may need to loosen the cam strips and readjust the panel from left to right if the hook and loop doesn't line up on both edges. Secure each front panel to hub 3 with the small hook and loop strap on the interior of the blind. Lastly, secure the side and back wall panel bottom window edges to the frame. Stand on the exterior of the blind and wrap the flap up and over the frame and secure with hook and loop strips. You will now have the wall panels tensioned and secured to the frame. On the inside of the blind, secure the 6 S3 poles to the main frame by inserting an M6 by 30 mm carriage bolt into the square holes of poles Z3 and F3. On the opposite side of the tube, you will need to add a tab clamp and nut. Next, attach the 3 T3 poles to the S3 poles and secure with an M6 by 30 mm bolt and nut. To begin assembly of the roof frame, locate poles U3, V3, W3, and X3. Insert the 6 plastic plugs into the ends of the W3 and X3 poles. Assemble the roof separately from the rest of the assembled blind by sliding poles W3 and X3 together so that the snap buttons secure the parts together. Also, slide poles U3 and V3 together. Connect one W3 and X3 pole assembly to all 4 U3 and V3 assemblies with 4 M6 by 50 mm bolts and nuts. Attach the remaining 2 W3 and X3 pole assemblies to the ends of the U3 and V3 assemblies by using 8 M6 by 30 mm bolts and nuts. Lift the assembled roof up and over the rest of the blind and attach using 8 M6 by 30 mm bolts and nuts. Drape the roof panel over the assembled roof frame. Secure the hook and loop attachment strips on the front and back of roof panel to the strips on the front and back wall panels and top tier of blind frame. On the inside of the blind, pull the roof panel tight by wrapping D-ring straps around top tier of blind frame poles N3. Feed the long strap through both D-rings and back through to tighten. Back on the outside of the blind, wrap the corners of the roof panel around the corners of the frame assembly and secure hook strip to loop. To assemble the door, locate the door frame top, G3, and 2 bottom door frame parts, H3 and I3. Pull Q3, 2 complete cam straps, and the door panel. Slide a cam strap end onto each part H3 and I3. Then slide H3 and I3 into the sleeve in door panel so that the snap button secures them together inside of the sleeve. Slide door frame top, G3, onto assembled door frame bottom so that the snap buttons secure them together. Slide pole Q3 into top sleeve of door panel, being sure to also slide on the 2 long loop ends of cam straps. To attach the panel to the door frame, it is easiest to stand the door upright. However, it can also be done lying flat on the ground. Flip pole Q3 and the 2 straps over the frame. Feed the loop end of straps through the cam buckles. Center the panel on the frame and tension vertically by pulling down on the loop end of the strap with one hand and up on the loose end with the other. Do not over-tension the panel. Only tension enough to take the slack out of the panel vertically at this time. Wrap the edge of the door panel on the door handle side around the door frame and secure with hook and loop strips. The opposite edge will be attached with hook and loop strips to the left front wall panel in a later step. Secure the panel to the frame with the 2 hook and loop straps on the interior side of the door. Secure the door window clips to the frame by wrapping the loop end around the door frame top, G3, and routing the clip back down through the loop. Clip back onto the window and tension by pulling on the loose end of the strap. Attach the assembled door to the blind frame by sliding a plastic spacer onto the post on H3 and inserting the post into the hole in B3. Secure the top of the door with an M6 by 55 mm bolt, plastic spacer, plastic washer, and nut. Secure the edge of the door panel on the hinge side to the front left wall panel with the hook and loop strips. Locate the door handle parts, door handle latch, 2 large plastic washers, M8 nut, and M8 lock nut. Assemble as shown. Using 2 13 mm wrenches, secure the door handle latch between the 2 nuts. Locate the 6 window panels and 6 Y3 poles. Insert a Y3 pole into the sleeve on each window panel. Decide how you want the windows to be configured. There are many options, whether it be vertical openings, horizontal openings, a small square opening, or a combination. The window panels and window frame openings are square. If you want a horizontal opening, you attach the window to the frame with the Y3 pole horizontal. If you want a vertical opening, you attach the window to the frame with the Y3 pole vertical. The windows are secured to the frame with the D-ring straps. To create the window opening, just roll the panel around the Y3 pole and secure it to the frame with the D-ring straps. Tighten all of the D-ring straps to tension the panel. This concludes the assembly of the Landmark 450 permanent blind. An optional 10-foot tower is available and sold separately. To see more information, visit us online at huntriversedge.com.